When your dog licks you, do you actually know what they're trying to say? Most people laugh it off. They wipe their face, say, "You, stop it," and go right back to whatever they were doing. And the dog just sits there, tail wagging, maybe tries again. But behind every lick, there's a message, a specific, intentional, deeply emotional message that your dog has been sending you over and over again, and most owners never decode it. Because dog licking isn't just a quirk, it's a language, one that goes back thousands of years before humans ever tried to understand it. And once you know what your dog is actually saying every single time they lick you, you will never look at it the same way again. And there's one specific type of lick, one moment, one location on your body, that reveals something so personal about your bond that most owners never even know to look for it. We'll get there. But first, let's start with the one thing that changes how you see everything. 1. It's not just affection, it's something older than that. When your dog licks you, your first instinct is probably, "They love me." And you're not wrong, but you're not getting the full picture either. Dog licking starts the moment a puppy is born. The mother licks her newborns to stimulate breathing, to clean them, to keep them warm, to say, "You are safe, you are mine, you are here, and I am here." Before a puppy ever opens its eyes, before it can hear, before it can walk, it already knows what a lick means. It means, "I see you, I am with you, you are not alone." That instinct doesn't disappear when they grow up. It gets transferred, redirected. And one day that dog grows up and finds a human, finds you, and everything their nervous system has ever associated with licking gets pointed in your direction. So when your dog licks your hand, your face, your arm, they're not just being cute. They're doing the most instinctively intimate thing they know how to do. They're treating you the way the most important figure in their earliest life treated them. Your dog licks you the way their mother once licked them. That is the depth of what's happening every single time. 2. They're tasting your emotions, literally. Here's something most owners don't know. Your dog's licking isn't random. They're not just doing it because you taste good, though your skin does carry salt from sweat, and dogs are naturally drawn to it. But what they're actually doing goes far deeper than taste. They're reading you. Dogs have up to 300 million olfactory receptors compared to about 6 million in humans. Their sense of smell is so advanced they can detect shifts in your body chemistry, your cortisol levels, your adrenaline, the subtle chemical changes that happen when you're stressed, anxious, grieving, or even quietly overwhelmed. And licking amplifies that information. When your dog licks your skin, they're collecting a full emotional report on how you're doing in a way that no amount of looking or listening ever could. A study published in Animal Cognition found that dogs can distinguish between human emotional states and adjust their behavior accordingly, even with complete strangers. But with their owners, that sensitivity is multiplied by years of learned patterns, of paying attention, of knowing you. So on the days your dog licks your face more than usual, the days when you haven't said a word but they just won't leave you alone, they already know. They tasted something before you said it, before you even fully admitted it to yourself. 3. Where they lick you is not an accident. Pay close attention to this one. Because most owners have never thought about it this way. Does your dog lick your hands, your face, your feet, your tears? Each location is telling you something different. Licking your hands is almost always a greeting. Your hands carry the most information, everything you've touched, everywhere you've been. When your dog licks your hands the moment you walk through the door, they're not just saying hello. They're reading the entire story of your day in seconds. Licking your face, especially around your mouth, is rooted in ancient wolf behavior. Puppies lick the mouths of adult wolves as a social signal of trust and submission. In domestic dogs, that behavior evolved into something more emotional, more personal. Face licking is your dog saying, "I am comfortable enough with you to be this close, this vulnerable, this open," and licking your tears. That is perhaps the most quietly powerful thing your dog does. Research from the University of London found that dogs approach people who are crying with comforting, submissive behavior far more than any other emotional state, more than excitement, more than hunger. When your dog licks your tears, they have identified that you are hurting, and they made a choice to respond to it. Not because anyone trained them to, because they chose to, on their own, for you. 4. Sometimes it's an apology, and they mean it. Has your dog ever done something wrong, chewed something they shouldn't, knocked something over, had an accident inside, and then immediately come over to lick you? Most owners think they're just being nervous or cute. But what's actually happening is one of the most socially sophisticated behaviors in the animal world. Dogs understand cause and effect within their relationships. When they sense that something has shifted between you and them, when your energy changes, when your voice drops, when your body language closes off, they experience what researchers now describe as guilt-adjacent stress, a real felt disruption in the bond, and their instinctive response to repairing that bond? Appeasement licking, the same behavior observed between wolves after conflict in a pack, where the lower-ranking wolf approaches and licks to say, "I'm not a threat, I want peace, I want us to be okay." When your dog licks you after they've done something wrong, they're not trying to manipulate you. They're genuinely trying to fix something that feels broken between the two of you. That's not an excuse for bad behavior, but it is a window into how seriously your dog takes your relationship and how much it costs them when something feels off between you. 5. When the licking stops, listen closely. This is the one most owners miss completely. What if your dog, who has licked your hand every morning, greeted you at the door every evening, pressed their face into yours every time you sat down, just stops? Most people barely register it. Life gets busy. But veterinary behaviorists are very clear. A sudden, sustained drop in licking behavior, especially in a dog who has always been an enthusiastic licker, is one of the earliest and most commonly missed signs that something is wrong. Dogs instinctively suppress behaviors that require emotional energy when they're struggling. Just like they stop playing, stop eating, stop following, they stop initiating affection. And because licking is so deeply tied to connection and emotional motivation, it's often the first thing to quietly disappear before any obvious physical symptom ever shows up. If your dog has stopped licking you, not just for a day, but for several days, especially paired with changes in appetite, sleep, or the way they make eye contact with you, don't wait on that. Your dog is going quiet in the only language they have, and the owners who catch it early are almost always the ones who noticed the licking first, because they were paying close enough attention to see when it stopped. 6. The one lick that tells you everything about your bond. Remember at the beginning when I said there's one specific type of lick, one moment, that reveals something so personal about your relationship that most owners never know to look for it? This is it. Watch what your dog does the very first time they lick you in the morning, not when you call them, not when the food container opens, not when they hear the leash. Before any of that, the moment your eyes open, the moment you make the smallest movement under the covers, does your dog come to you? Do they lick your hand, your face, your arm before you've said a single word? That lick, that unprompted, unrewarded first thing in the morning lick, is the purest expression of what you mean to them. There's no food coming, no walk about to happen, no reward waiting on the other side. You are simply awake, and they needed you to know that they are glad. Research on canine attachment consistently shows that dogs who initiate affection in low-stimulus moments, moments with no obvious reward, display the highest levels of secure bonding with their owners. That morning lick isn't habit, it isn't conditioning. It is your dog choosing, in the quietest moment of the day, to reach for you. And if you really let yourself understand what's happening, every single time your dog licks you, it stops being something you wipe off your face. It becomes something you receive. Because your dog doesn't have words. They can't write you a letter or sit you down and tell you what you mean to them. All they have is their body, their instincts, and thousands of years of evolution that pointed every single loving impulse they carry directly at you. And every lick is them using all of that to say the one thing they've always wanted you to know. I love you, I chose you, and I would choose you every single time. If this video made you want to go, let your dog lick your hand right now, go. They've been waiting to tell you something. Like and subscribe, because your dog deserves an owner who truly listens.